Hey guys, it's Jen, and I'm here today with a book haul. I'm sure as you've seen in the thumbnail, I accidentally went a little bit crazy. So this is March and April, so it's 2 months book haul. However, only 3 of the books are from March. I thought I was doing really well this year. I had only bought 10 books all year by the end of March, which I thought was really good because normally I'm a little bit crazy. So then this April happened, and I don't even know what happened. Like, I have no idea what happened. I just acquired a lot of books. So I'm going to show you the ones I got in March. The first book that I got, which is the only one that I bought in March, is Orphan Strain by Pam Jenoff. This is about a 16-year-old girl named Noah who gets impregnated by a Nazi soldier. Her family casts her out in disgrace, and she's forced to give up her baby. She finds herself living above a train station, and they are bringing through trains full of Jewish orphans. Jewish children that they have taken away from their parents, so they're orphans, essentially, and she sees a baby in this train and she steals it and runs away. So this story is this is about her story. I think it's World War II fiction, obviously, because I've mentioned Nazis and the Jewish orphans. I really like World War II fiction. I wasn't too into history when I was in school because I didn't have a very good history teacher, but I really enjoy reading World War II fiction because it is based on real events. I do learn things from it, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. It caught my eye when I was walking through Walmart, and I just pretty much had to pick it up. So I'm really looking forward to eventually getting to this book. I need to be in the mood for this because I know it will be emotional, but hopefully I will enjoy it. So the other 2 books that I got in March, I was gifted through the Reddit book exchange, so I didn't buy these books. But I'm really looking forward to reading them, and the first one is The Beast is an Animal by Peternell van Arsdale. I've actually never heard of this book, so I'm not entirely sure what it's about. It is a fantasy book, so I am looking forward to trying it out. I didn't really read the synopsis, so I'm kind of going to be going into this one blind. I don't know. If you've read this, let me know down below if you enjoyed it, or if you've even heard of it, because I hadn't heard of this one before I got it. So I was pretty happy to get it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this, but I don't really know a whole lot about it. And then the other book that I was gifted, because I was matched up with another Canadian. They sent me this one, and it's Company Town by Madeline Ashby. This is a science fiction dystopian that I believe is based in Newfoundland. It is one of the nominees for Canada Reads. It didn't win, but it was the runner-up. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I think it sounds really interesting. I love dystopian, and I love science fiction, so I think I'm going to really enjoy this one, especially where it's Canadian literature. I don't really read enough Canadian authors. It's terrible, but I don't. But this sounds really good. I don't really know exactly what it's about. I just know that it's a science fiction dystopian, and that's all I really want to know about it because I don't want to know too much about it and get my expectations too high or think it's going to be something that it's not. So yeah, again, if you've read this one, let me know if you enjoyed it, because I would love to hear some more good things about this. So those are the 3 books that I got in March. So that means the rest of the books I got in April. And I thought I was doing so good up until the end of March, and then it's really just been the last, 3 weeks. Well, I guess that's pretty much all of April. It's pretty much just been April. I don't know why I just bought a lot of books. And I feel really bad about it, but it happened. And there's not much I can do about it. The good thing is I've read some of them, so I guess that's something. So the first book that I bought in April is 15 Dogs by Andre Alexis. This is another book that was nominated for Canada Reads. It actually won the Canada Reads. This book is basically follows 15 dogs who've been granted human consciousness and language by Apollo and Hermes, who've made a bet whether or not, if they were to give some animals human consciousness, if they would be happy or not. So this follows the 15 dogs throughout their lives to see if any of them will be happy when it's over. But it was, like, I've already read this and I will talk about it in a later wrap up, but I did really enjoy it. I thought it was a really unique idea, and like this book was just good. Like I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 or a 4.5 out of 5. I'm not sure, I can't remember right now, but I did really enjoy it. I already read it. I bought this and started reading it right away after it won because I hadn't heard of it before I watched the Canada Reads last day to find out what the winner was going to be. I hadn't heard of this, and it really intrigued me to think of dogs being able to understand humans and our thought process. And it was interesting to see that mixed with the canine thought process, because dogs are quite loyal animals, as I'm sure anyone who has a dog knows. It doesn't seem to matter if you're in a good mood or if you're upset, they would love you no matter what. Dogs just love you. So this was really interesting point of view, and I really enjoyed it. The next book that I bought was one that was for a book club read, of course, and that was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I have heard so many great things about this. I already finished this and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5, but I'm definitely going to be picking up the next book because this one was a great read. I can't believe it took me so long to get around to it, but I'm glad we picked this and read it because it was really good. This one is about a girl whose brother is arrested for treason, and she goes to a resistance because it's pretty much a dystopian fantasy world where there's like a patriarchy and then slaves. It's very Romanesque, and she goes to the resistance for help because it's basically their fault that her brother has been arrested, and they agree to help her if she agrees to become a slave and spy on the most dangerous woman that they could possibly send her after to spy on. So it's really good. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read the next one. So the next book that I picked up when I took my daughter to her Scholastic book fair. She had done really good on her report cards, so I took her to buy some books, and I saw this and I had remembered someone saying that it was a really good book, and I decided I needed to pick it up because I need to buy myself a book. And that's Wonder by R.J. Felicio. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, sorry. I've heard a lot of great things about this. This is about a boy who has a disfigurement to his face, and it just shows how he goes through life and how other people treat him. So he starts school in grade 5, a public school in grade 5, and it just goes through to see if he can find acceptance and make friends with his difference to his face, because kids are mean. They are. I'm not gonna lie, kids are mean about disfigurements, and it's not very nice. So I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty emotional read, and I'm hoping to read this one soon. So the next 4 books I picked up in my shoppers. They were having like a points promotion thing because I had some optimum points and I wanted to use them. So I bought some books with them because, you know, because why not buy books, right? So the first book that I got at Shoppers is the one that I'm currently reading, and that is Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's hilarious. And I love Anna Kendrick, so I thought I would get this. It's nonfiction, which is surprising because I don't read a lot of nonfiction, and I'm enjoying it. So it basically just tells her life story up until now. and it's really good, and I would definitely recommend it if you like Anna Kendrick. The next one that I got is one that I've been wanting to get for quite a while because I love Harry Potter, obviously, Harry Potter shirt. And that is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling, this original screenplay. I'm one of the few people who enjoyed reading The Cursed Child. I like reading plays and screenplays. It's just a format that I enjoy. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy this one. I'm hoping to read this one very soon as well. I think I'm going to really enjoy it because I enjoyed the movie. So I already know what's going to happen. But I feel like it's going to be a really quick read. I'm going to read it during a readathon. But yeah, it's obviously about the movie. It's just the movie in a book format. The next book that I got is Hidden Figures by Margaret Lee Shetterfly, which tells the story of the women who were behind the science who were behind the math to launch the rocket and the astronauts into space for the moon landing. And I think what they did is phenomenal, and I'm glad that this was published so that they get they've become more recognized for what they did, because I feel like it was kind of something at the time that was just passed over and ignored, because a lot of women in science is just passed over and ignored, to be perfectly honest. But this is another, again, it's nonfiction, it is a true story, and I really can't wait to read this one and find out more, and I'm also planning on watching the movie. And then the next book, I don't know why, but I have like a lot of books that have been adapted into movies right now, or shows. And the next one is A Dog's Purpose by W. Bruce Cameron. I love dogs. This movie looks adorable. I want to read the book. I want to get into the mind of the dog. Like, I already showed you 15 dogs, so I just think that it's like, I was the kid that read books from the animals' point of views growing up. Like, I read any books that were about animals, so like Where the Red Fern Grows, Old Yeller. I read all those. Sounder, because I just love dogs. They're my favorite animal. And I wanted this one, and I just like this cover because it's adorable. I love the dog on it. It looks like my dog, kind of. So I'm looking forward to reading it. It tells the story of a dog who is constantly reincarnated in different bodies, and tells specifically the story of him while he is a dog named Bailey, and then later on in life it just shows the relationship between humans and dogs, and just like their loyalty and the bonds that are created, because I know that my dog has an amazing bond with me. I'm her favorite person, and I just really am looking forward to reading this. I'm guarantee this is going to make me cry, though. The next 5 books are from Chapters, and I bought them because Chapters was having a points promotion. Buy 5 books, get so many points. I like getting points. I only like buying books from Chapters when there's promotions, because then I get points towards credit. And who doesn't like free credit? So the first one is another book that has been adapted recently, and that is 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. I have been wanting to read this book for a long time. I'm sure that most people know what it's about by now. It is about a girl who commits suicide and leaves 13 tapes for her classmates, to the people who she feels are like the reason that she committed suicide. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I really want to read this one, but I also would really like to watch the Netflix show that they've adapted for this, because I've heard it's also really well done. So I will be hopefully reading this one soon. And then the next book that I got is one that there's been quite a bit of buzz for in the reading community. This is one that has been picked for my in-person book club that I go to monthly, as well as my online book club that we do every 3 months. So I will be reading this in May for sure. And that is Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I've heard such mixed opinions on this book, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what I think about it. I think most people know what it's about by now. It's about a girl who goes with her sister to a carnival, or the Caravel, and her sister is taken, and it's essentially a huge game to get her sister back. So it sounds like it's going to be like a huge, I don't know, like it's going to be a very interesting read, just to see how she goes about getting her sister back. But yeah, it just sounds really good. But again, I've heard mixed opinions about it. Hopefully, I will be one of the people who enjoys it. The next book is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I loved Everything, so I've been wanting to pick this one up for a while. I also love this cover. Like, look at this book. It's beautiful. So I need it on my shelf. I love the I love colorful, simplistic covers. This is fairly simplistic, in my opinion. But this one is about a girl who is her family is being deported, and while this is going on, she meets a boy. It's her last day in America before she's deported, and they kind of just have like this day and this romance builds, and it sounds like really interesting, and really fun and cutesy, and I just want to read it. So yeah, basically that's what this one is about. Most people know what this one is about. Most people have read this one, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book is another contemporary, and that is Korilla by Ashley Poston. This one is about a girl whose parents created this convention for this show that they really enjoyed. Her parents have died, and she continues continues helping plan the convention. The show is slated for a reboot, because that seems to be what happens to a lot of shows lately, actually, is they get rebooted. So this show gets rebooted, and she does not like the person who has been cast as the main character in the show. Anyways, so she's planning this convention, and the guy who is playing the main character, who she doesn't like, writes to her because he is very interested in going to the convention, because he's a big fan of the original series. And they start talking back and forth, but she doesn't know that it's this actor that she doesn't like. So it sounds like it's going to be a really cute story, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And the last book that I got from Chapters is The Moon and More by Sarah Dessen. I don't really know what this one is about. It's just Sarah Dessen, and I've had really good luck with Sarah Dessen in the past, and I love her books, so I picked this one up. I've been in the mood for contemporary, so I don't want to really know too much about this one going in, because I just really like Sarah Dessen, and I just know it's going to be a nice summery contemporary, and I'm going to enjoy it probably, hopefully. So that's all I know, is just that it's a contemporary and it's Sarah Dessen. And the last book, finally, the last book that I got in the month of April is The Dark Prophecy by Rick Riordan. But Jen, this one doesn't come out until May. That's right, it showed up in the mail today. My pre-order from Amazon showed up today. Today's the 28th, so I got it a few days early. This is the second book in the Trials of Apollo. I absolutely love the first book, except for Meg. I don't like Meg. Just saying it, I don't like her. I thought she was annoying. But I like Apollo, and this is told from Apollo's point of view, so I can deal with that. I don't want to say too much about it because it is the second book in a series. I just know that it is amazing. Essentially, in the first book, Apollo is being punished by Zeus, and he is turned into a mortal, and he has to go through these trials to get his immortality back. It's a really good series, and I really enjoyed the first book, and I can't wait to read this one as well. So hopefully I'll get to this one soon. So those are all the books that I got in the months of March and April. I'm not going to pick this pile up because it's 16 books, and that's just too much for me to pick up. So let me know down below if you've read any of them and what you thought, and if any of them are books that you are hoping to read, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!